Let's start with a simple question. If you want to move to Australia, what's stopping you? For most people, the answer isn't motivation, it's the points. Maybe you don't have enough for a 189 or 190 visa. Maybe your occupation isn't on the skilled list, or maybe you're tired of hearing about people waiting for years just to get an invitation. Some parts of Australia desperately need workers, not just in fancy jobs like engineering or data analysis, but in real, practical roles from chefs to care workers to mechanics to truck drivers. And since those regions can't always attract enough locals, the government allows them to invite skilled migrants directly, under special local agreements. So yes, you could say DAMA is like Australia's regional VIP pass for migrants. But instead of red carpets, it's more like rolling up your sleeves and helping local communities grow. Now, let's break this down in a simple way. Because migration agreement sounds like a mouthful until you realize it's one of the most underrated visa pathways in Australia. 1. DAMA is built for people who don't fit into the usual PR system. Here's the thing about the regular skilled visas. 189, 190, or even 491. They love high points, perfect English scores, and qualifications that tick every box on a national list. It's competitive, and the cutoffs just keep rising. But DAMA doesn't care about chasing perfect scores. It's designed to fix real-world shortages, not test how many points you can stack. That means the job lists under DAMA are far broader, including roles that don't even appear on the national skilled lists. For example, where a 189 visa might only include registered nurses or IT professionals, DAMA could include cooks, aged care workers, farm supervisors, hospitality managers, and even cleaners in some regions. That's because each DAMA is negotiated based on local demand, not national policy. 2. English and experience requirements are lower. Let's be honest, English test scores have crushed many migration dreams. Missing a few points in IELTS can mean the difference between an invite and another year of waiting. DAMA gets that. That's why most DAMA regions offer concessions, meaning they can lower certain requirements. English, experience, even salary thresholds. All can be adjusted to suit local needs. So, if a national visa wants a minimum IELTS of 6 in every band, a DAMA region might accept 5 or 5.5. If other visas need 3 years of experience, DAMA might accept 2. These concessions make a massive difference for people who have real skills but don't fit the strict federal framework. And because the program is regional, it's not competing with Sydney or Melbourne for spots. That's another reason why DAMA applications often move faster. 3. It's not just temporary, it can lead to PR. This is where a lot of people misunderstand DAMA. They think it's only for temporary work. It's true that you usually start with a temporary skill shortage visa under the DAMA program. But here's the trick. Many DAMA regions have a PR pathway built in. Typically, after working for 2 to 3 years under DAMA sponsorship, you can transition to permanent residency through the Employer Nomination Scheme, even if your occupation isn't on the national PR list. So, while everyone else is waiting for invitation rounds or struggling with points, you're quietly working your way toward PR through a guaranteed route. Think of it as Australia's Earn Your PR system. You contribute to a local community. They support your future. Fair deal. 4. It's expanding fast. Back in 2019, only a few regions had DAMA agreements. Today, almost every state has at least one, and more are being added in 2025. Let's name a few. Northern Territory, South Australia, Western Australia, Victoria's Great South Coast, Queensland's Far North, and several more. Each of these regions has its own occupation list, hundreds of jobs across sectors like healthcare, construction, agriculture, and hospitality. This year's updates are expected to add even more roles, especially in aged care, trade, and regional infrastructure. That means more choices, more flexibility, and more chances to find a job that fits your skills. 5. It gives smaller towns a big migration advantage. Most migrants imagine life in Sydney or Melbourne, big cities, bright lights, and traffic that never ends. But Australia is a continent, not a city-state. Regional Australia, the small towns, rural areas, and coastal communities are desperate for workers. DAMA is their way of saying, if you're willing to live here and contribute, we'll help you stay. And the quality of life in these areas might surprise you. Less traffic, cheaper rent, friendlier people, and a stronger sense of community. You might not have skyscrapers, but you'll have peace, savings, and a faster PR track. Plus, employers in these regions are usually more eager to sponsor because they genuinely need help. They're not just ticking boxes. They're relying on you. 6. The salary and skill concessions make it realistic. One major barrier for many migrants has been the high temporary skilled migration income threshold, the minimum salary required to sponsor foreign workers. Under DAMA, this threshold can be lower. This is because wages in regional areas are naturally different from the big cities, and the government understands that. These concessions make it financially viable for employers to hire and sponsor migrants, and that opens doors for you. And here's another key point. Some DAMA agreements allow skills recognition flexibility. That means even if you don't have a formal Australian qualification, your experience might still count. It's practical, realistic, and people-focused, something rare in migration systems. 7. You still get full worker rights and benefits. Don't let the agreement part fool you. DAMA doesn't mean fewer rights. Once you're in Australia under a DAMA visa, you're protected by the same workplace laws as any other employee. You get fair pay, workplace safety, and access to support services. In fact, many regional councils and local chambers actively support DAMA workers because they want them to settle and stay long-term. That sense of local inclusion is one of the hidden benefits of choosing a regional pathway. 8. Real people are already getting PR through it. If you scroll through migration forums or Facebook groups, you'll start noticing something. People talking about getting PR through DAMA after years of failed attempts with points-based visas. These aren't one-off success stories, they're growing trends. Chefs, care workers, diesel mechanics, and early childhood educators have all transitioned to PR through DAMA. The government is expected to make the process even smoother, especially for essential service roles in healthcare and hospitality. So, if you've been struggling with invitation rounds or limited job offers, you might want to look at DAMA as the back door that's actually a front door, just a different one. How to actually use it. Now, here's where most people get confused. You can't just apply for DAMA directly, like a 189 visa. You need a sponsoring employer in a DAMA-approved region. Here's the basic roadmap. Find a DAMA region that lists your occupation. Look for an employer in that region who's approved to sponsor under DAMA. They apply for a labor agreement nomination. Once approved, you apply for your visa, usually the subclass 482. Work for 2 to 3 years, and then transition to PR through the region's pathway. It's a bit more hands-on than points-based visas, but it's also more predictable. And who knows? By the time those waiting lists move, you might already be holding your PR, settled in a town where everyone knows your name. So maybe it's time to stop asking, how do I get to Sydney? And start asking, which region needs me?